What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Alex. Today's Monday. We're going to take a break from sex games on my other YouTube channels and start building up my sports channel. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks since I've done any videos on sports, and that's the one category I need to improve on here on YouTube is my sports channel. So I have two sports channels because I just have so much content. So I want to take a break from my other content so I can focus on sports. So hopefully this week I try to give you guys nothing but just sports, and take a break from my other content. Because I know some people are like, man, he ain't made no sports. What's going on? And you got so many YouTube channels, you got to prioritize your time. It's not easy when you got like 6 to 7 YouTube channels. So, and plus, I got to wash clothes, I got to pay bills, I got to clean my room, I got to work out. So I have like a whole bunch of activities this week, and then sometimes I have to look at certain videos to see if the time will allow for the video to get made. Now this one is going to be about the greatest professional football players to ever play the game of football. Unfortunately, only 17 names can get on this list. I wanted to call it NFL the top 20 greatest football players of all times, but I felt short. And plus, I also have to consider how much time this video could go. So, if I did that, then the video would be between 40 to 45 minutes, and it would break the video into 3 videos. And then y'all would get mad because y'all favorite football players, past, present, and future, is not on this list. Keep in mind, I'm going to make 3 videos in 3 different categories. I do one for basketball, I do one for football. The one about basketball is going to be tomorrow. That's going to be the best big men in basketball. So look for that tomorrow. But today's video is going to be NFL's top 17 greatest NFL players in football of all time. We're talking about the absolute best professional football players in the NFL, past, present. There are not too many players from the future. We have some, but like I said, don't be surprised if your favorite player is not on this list. I will make 3 videos, so just relax. This is only 1 in the series. There's going to be 3. And if it's well received, who knows, there could be 4 videos. Not everyone's going to be happy or impressed when I mention these names. Some of these names should be rated higher. Some of these names should be rated lower. Like my mom used to tell me, no matter how hard you try, you can't make everyone happy. You cannot please everyone. So if someone dumbs down the video, I understand. But don't say any rude or disrespectful comments to other viewers. And don't say no disrespectful comments to me in the comment section, because if you do, I will block and delete you if you say any disrespectful, foul language in the comment section. Here we're going to tolerate respect to each other and respect to me. If you don't like the video, just put down a nice, respectful comment saying I didn't like the video. I thought you rushed through the video. I thought you should have took more time. Say something like that, but don't be saying no foul languages. And if you're someone that's very biased, you'll just get blocked and deleted automatically. It better be respectful, logical comments that are respectful and logical, not illogical. So basically what I'm saying in a nice way, go with intelligence, not with your feelings. It's all in good fun entertainment. It's my interpretation. It's not 100% perfect. It's not 100% absolute. So don't take it literally. If you take it literally, you're just telling me and everyone else you can't handle a video, or you shouldn't be looking at the video altogether. So it's supposed to be for good entertainment. Don't ruin the fun for someone else because you're having a bad day. I understand we all have good days. We all have bad days. So let's enjoy this fun, exciting video. It's just all in good entertainment. Coming in at number 17 is Rob Gronowski, player of the New England Patriots. Now, this guy played at 2 different positions. There's defensive tackle, there's lineman, and he's by far the only player to have won 3 championships with 1 professional football team. Guy played about 13, 14 years of professional football. Could have actually played maybe 3 more years in the NFL, but injuries played him. He got injured 5 times in his football career. He's like the guy that can catch the football in any circumstance. Now, what hurts him at this list is that even though he's big, strong, and powerful, you take the intimidation of Brock Lesnar, the professional wrestler, and you take his size with his body, who's going to stop him at that position? The guy is a monster. That's like Godzilla on the football field. You know, how do you get around his offense? How do you get around his defense? And he's more of a defensive player than an offensive player. But when he comes at you, there's not much you can do. Like, if you want to get to Tom Brady, this is who you got to go through. It's like a wall, and if you knock that wall down, there's another wall and another wall. That's Rob Gronowski. And the fact that this guy can play more than one position, and the size and the strength at what height he is, and the guy can move very fast. Most big guys don't even move that fast. He moves that fast, and he's like 6'5", 6'6", 250, 255. And the fact that he can do that is incredibly incredible. And he won 3 championships. Could have won a 4th championship had he stayed with Tom Brady and the Patriots a little bit more longer. Of course, he decided to just win 3 championships. The guy is humble, and the guy likes to have fun off the football field, and the guy's in professional wrestling. You know, he likes wrestling, and of course, you can see why he's in wrestling because of his size and stature. But just imagine if he stayed with Tom Brady to win one more championship to make it 4. I mean, he's going to go into the Hall of Fame without question. You know, it's unfortunate he got injured too many times. It's unfortunate that the injury shortened his career, but what better way to go out and you win 3 championships on one football team? Coming in at number 16 is Randy Moss. He is by far one of the greatest, not just the best, one of the greatest professional football players to play in the NFL. Played 12 to 13 years of NFL. The guy's won football games. The guy's lost football games. He's won in the playoffs. He's lost in playoffs. He's even won games that he should have lost, and he's even won games he should have never won. And then he's won games that he was expected to win, and he's done it at every level. And he's only had one shot at going to the Super Bowl, and it was with Tom Brady in the 2007, well, he didn't go for the 2007 one, but for the 2012 one, where they actually lost in a Super Bowl rematch against those damn New York Giants. I mean, the guy could have won at least one championship. I mean, the guy was there. All he needed was one thing to complete his resume, and that was a championship. And this guy put up all-star numbers, Hall of Fame numbers. And this guy was a good wide receiver, and he could play quarterback if asked to. And to be in his late 30s in prime fit condition, most players at his age, they're done. And even when you look at him today on TV, he still stays in shape. And it's like, wow, just imagine if the phone called and said, hey, we need you to come play one more game. I mean, it's just unfortunate that the guy gets to the Super Bowl once or twice in his career. He gets one opportunity to win a championship, and it gets taken away from him. I mean, all he needed was to win one title, and it would have solidified his greatness. It's just unfortunate. Coming in at number 15 is Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know there's a lot of Green Bay Packer fans that are probably going to be spitting out their Coca-Cola, their Pepsi, 7-Up, Sprite. Nobody drinks Sierra Mist, coffee, tea, apple juice, orange juice, or water. You heard what I said. He's on this list. Now, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, and he's going to go down in history without question as the greatest professional football player of all times. Problem is, when you compare him to other football players like Troyaikman, Ben Roethlisberger, especially Tom Brady, the guy has only gone to one Super Bowl his whole career and only won one Super Bowl. And the fact that people say he's a better player, he's a better quarterback, a better thrower, that might be the case, but injuries and setbacks and always losing. Every time you count on Aaron Rodgers, right? Every time you count on this guy to play and step up in big moments, you see flashes of what he was when he won that first Super Bowl. And then it's like all the injuries after that Super Bowl. It's like the guy was cursed. You know, you win one championship, you're supposed to win 3, you win 1, and then if you look this past NFL season, he had a chance to once and for all silence the critics, and this time he doesn't get hurt. He plays, but then something that shouldn't have happened don't happen. You be like, where did the guy show up? Did the guy play? You know, the guy looks like he's nervous, It seems like he doesn't seem that he wants it as much. And it's like, to be great, you have to always want it. So you can say without the championship, he wouldn't be on this list. And even though he only won one title, unfortunately, I have to disagree with Skip Bailey. You can't be better than Tom Brady, and you only go with one championship, and you're always injured. And then when you're injury free, you still can't, clutch in the big moments. And he's going to go down in history as the best and the greatest to win just one time. Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be someone with the potential to win 3 championships, 4 championships, and be higher on this list. And what I just said proves why he's not higher on this list. I know Green Bay Packer fans will probably be very angry and furious with this video, and guess what? I understand you. Coming in at number 14 is Eli Manning. Now, for reasons I don't understand, the guy has gone to the Super Bowl twice. The guy has beaten one of the greatest professional football players of all times, Tom Brady, twice in Super Bowls. The first time, he broke his undefeated record. No one could beat Tom Brady in the 2007 NFL season, and it's Eli and the New York Giants, and they do it in the Super Bowl. And then they have a Super Bowl rematch in 2012, and then to turn around and rise to the occasion again and win 2 championships and be 2-0 undefeated in the Super Bowl. Now, the reason why he's low on this list is because a lot of people just don't give him the respect and credit that Eli Manning truly deserves. I mean, he beat one of the greats twice. He proved to you it wasn't a fluke. He did it twice in the Super Bowls. And people go, well, he's just not as entertaining or charismatic like his big brother. That's the first thing they say about Eli Manning. They say he's boring, he's not that fun, he's quiet, he stays to himself, he always reads the NFL book. That's what you hear them say about Eli Manning to this very day. And the fact that he's played a longevity career, played more years than his big brother, and people still doesn't seem to want to give him the respect and the credit that he actually deserves. It's just unfortunate that they go, well, in the season, he plays average. And when it's the playoffs and the Super Bowls, he plays legendary. But they always go, but to me, it makes me feel like he should have actually won a 3rd title to prove that he's legit. Like, he won 2, and the thing is, if you win 1, then it's easy to write you off because you won just 1 Super Bowl. But he won 2, and he's undefeated, and yet no one seems to give him that credit that he yearns for. It's just unfortunate. Now, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame without question. But people will always bring up he could have won more championships, and he tried. But injuries late in his career, and he'll always go down in history as the guy who beat Tom Brady not once, but twice. Coming in at 13 is big brother Peyton Manning, the guy who gets all the praise and the attention. Gone to 4 Super Bowls, won 2 championships. Now, with the potential that he had, he could have actually won 3 or 4 championships, but a neck injury stopped that. Being traded to the Denver Broncos to resurrect his NFL career, and losing to a future Hall of Famer and Russell Wilson, and then having to beat Cam Newton and the Panthers to win a championship, and then to retire as the GOAT. Some people disagree with that. Now, to me, the thing that I have with Peyton Manning is he could have won more championships. He had the ability to go out there and win 3 to 4 Super Bowls. Like, he should be on the same level as Tom Brady. And he played against Tom Brady for a number of years in the NFL. Like, in fact, as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult, when you turn on the TV and you watch Brady versus Peyton Manning, that was the main event. If you didn't watch any other football matchup, this is the one you watch. This is the one that's stuffed of legends. This is the one that when you open the history books, this is the one you want to talk about. Peyton Manning, Brady. Even when Brady was still on the Patriots and Peyton Manning got to the Denver Broncos, it still was considered an all-time rival. And eventually Peyton Manning beat Tom Brady eventually to go to the Super Bowl. That was like the best revenge that you can get if you're Peyton Manning. I finally beat the great Tom Brady. It's just unfortunate that had he not lost to the New Orleans Saints early in his career Do you know how many Super Bowls Peyton Manning would have had? He probably would have had as many, if not as many as Tom Brady, close to as many as Tom Brady. All right, coming in at number 12 is Barry Sanders, the best to never win a Super Bowl. Now, what makes him great is that he played 10 years of professional football perfect. The guy wins in the season. The guy is clutch. The guy can throw. The guy can play. Offense, defense, he could do it all. He could throw the football with beautiful accuracy with his eyes closed. Only thing that keeps him from getting higher on this list is the fact that he ain't never won a Super Bowl. It's a tragedy. It's a shame that he's the greatest player to play this game in the NFL at his position, prove the naysayers and the critics wrong that he could be small, gifted, athletic, throw the football like a big man, like a quarterback, even though that wasn't his position, and don't have a championship. And the fact that he was putting up these types of numbers for 10 years, it makes me wonder, do not people not see the greatness in that? Like, it's just unfortunate that he's the best to play, but he never won. And to this day, when you watch those old films of Barry Sanders running and can't nobody catch him, it has to make you wonder, if he played in today's system, he probably would have 3 championships, without question. Coming in at number 11 is my man, Lawrence Taylor. The guy did go to 4 Super Bowls. The guy won 2 championships, should have won 3. But, of course, alcohol, drugs, fame, fortune, it ruined him as a football career. He managed to play 13 years with the New York Giants, and he had Hall of Fame numbers. The guy was good for hitting you. You try to run up the middle, you got knocked out. You try to go on the right, the left side, you got knocked out by Lawrence Taylor. In fact, as a kid, I used to always imitate the way he would just hit people. Like, I was memorized. At times, I thought he was going to turn into the Hulk and just lay your ass out on the field. And the fact that he could run and 2 people had to block him made you sometimes think that maybe you might want to go in the gym and basically lift more because it's Lawrence Taylor. Like, other football players, you're good. You see Lawrence Taylor, you have to think twice if you even think about getting the football. And he would hit you so hard, you thought twice about going after the quarterback. Like, he protected the quarterback. He made sure that he would go all out, put all of it out on the football field. It's just unfortunate that his career was due cut short to injuries. And like I said, fame, fortune, money, all of that ruined him later. And he should have won 3 championships. 1, 2, gone to 4 Super Bowls, should have won more. Coming at 10 is Ben Roethlisberger, a.k.a. Big Ben. Now, this is a guy that's on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, he's by far going to go down in history as the best Pittsburgh Steelers legend of all times in Pittsburgh. Guy wins 2 championships. Guy goes to 3 Super Bowls. Now, to me, what hurts Big Ben at number 10 is injuries. If you look at the time that he won his first Super Bowl, he played injured. When he won his second Super Bowl, again, he played injured. And then if you look at his career today, the guy's injured. So it's like, if he would just stop being injured and be injury-free, you could probably see a guy of his size. He's like Gronkowski, but as a quarterback. The strength, the size, the power, the fact that he can run and throw the football with accuracy, and the fact that his career is turned out the way it's turned out. He's lasted longer than anyone anticipated. We thought a guy of his size might last 10, 11 years. He's lasted longer than that. And he shocked me because he's proving that even though he's getting older, he still can perform at a high level. Now, injuries eventually will end your career, and so will age. You know, Father Time's it's undefeated, so it would be interesting to see if he can get 2 or 3 great more years. There's a difference between 2 or 3 average years versus 2 or 3 great more years left. All right, coming in at number 9 is Ray Lewis. He hits harder than any football player today. When you get hit by him, it's like 3 hurricanes knocking you out at the same time. And sometimes you have to question, did I did all I could not to get hit by him? And the fact that he wins 2 championships with the Baltimore Ravens and becomes the veteran locker, that's all you need to be great if you're Ray Lewis. And the fact that he's now in the Hall of Fame And you're still never going to forget. Every time you come to the city of Baltimore, you're going to be thinking about how hard he hits. You know, he's a legend for a reason. He's great for a reason. Coming at number 8 is my man, Deion Sanders. Prime time, baby. Now, Deion loves his women, loves his fame, he loves his fortune. He also is multi-talented, and it's just unfortunate that nobody sees that. Like, baseball is where he got more of the respect, the credit that he deserved. Football, he was seen as the best all-season round football player. He was a cornerback, not a quarterback or cornerback. And before there was Richard Sherman's, there was Deion Sanders. Deion was controversial. Deion loved doing rap songs, writing books, television shows, movies. And if there's anything else that Deion Primetime Sanders loved more than anything, he loved his numbers, his stats, and winning. And when he won big in big fashion. And because I liked him as a kid, I also liked the way he would go in and do his nice little dance. Of course, they would throw a flag in the football game. You know, for him to win his first championship with the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, he did win one with the San Francisco 49ers. And now when you think about it, he won 2 championships 2 years in a row. And the reason why he's on this list is because he does something that most football players ain't never done. The second year that he wins a Super Bowl, he also has a World Series in the same year. There are no other athlete before and after who's done what he's done. It's just what would have really catapulted him over the top is if Deion could have won 3 Super Bowls and just 1 championship in baseball, and then you would have seen that he's good in both sports. Baseball, because he stuck with it for 6 years, where in football, he won, he excelled. It's just the idea that some people felt that if Deion just trained a little bit harder, took the game even more serious, he would have won more. All right, coming in at number 7 is Steve Young. Now, he was a backup quarterback to who is the number 1 football player on the San Francisco 49ers. Shh, don't say who it is yet. We're not there yet. And for him to come in and win 2 or 3 Super Bowls and then to replace the guy and then become the face of the San Francisco 49ers, they talk about the story every day. You know, every time football comes on, we talk about the best football players, the greatest football players to ever play this game. My dad always bring up the story of how Steve Young came in, took someone's spot, and won big. And if your name's Steve Young, you know what they say, forever young, so that's why he's on this list. Coming in at lucky number 6, Troyaikman. For someone, now he is Tom Brady before there was Tom Brady. He was Aaron Rodgers before there was Aaron Rodgers. And he won 3 championships with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he, like most players, he had the potential to win a 4th Super Bowl. You know, when he was with the Dallas Cowboys in the 80s and the 90s, they won 3 Super Bowls. Gone to 5 Super Bowls, but won 3 out of 5. And he was so good that the way he could throw the ball to Michael Irvin, and Michael Irvin can catch it, is the stuff of legends. And the fact that that team played so good, they were contenders. They were threats to teams like the Oakland Raiders, teams like the Denver Broncos, the Rams, the Chargers, and their division. They were threats to those teams. And you took the Dallas Cowboys in that time period serious. Now, I know Stephen A. Smith going to say not the Dallas Cowboys of today, but the Cowboys with Troyaikman, oh, when you saw them come to town, you had to play all 4 quarters against this team, and you couldn't get comfortable having a 10 or 20-point lead with Troyaikman because you close your eyes, he throws the football, all of a sudden the game's tied. All of a sudden the game is in overtime. Then he throws another football, all of a sudden he goes past you. All of a sudden the score is up. Him, you got to be careful because he can throw the football with his eyes closed. That's how good he was at throwing the football. Now, some people forget that Troyaikman won 3 championships with the Dallas Cowboys. Some people forget just how great he was in that time frame. And some people never really seem to forget that he had rivalries with Dan Marino and the Miami Dolphins. He also had a rivalry with John Elway Oh yeah, there were rivalries, and he would seem to always be the one to be able to get the fit of those rivalries. Yeah, they don't talk about that. I mean, if you just think about that, coming in at number 5 is Wilson. Now, why is he at number 5? Because he proved to the whole entire world that he could become the first or second African American quarterback in NFL history to not only just get into the Super Bowl, but to actually win on that level. And he did it with such class, with such brilliance, that less than 4 or 5 years in the NFL, he goes in and he wins a Super Bowl against the world's best offense, the Denver Broncos. And then a turnaround after beating Peyton Manning, a Hall of Fame legend in the NFL, turns around and goes against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots the very next year. The only thing to that is he could have won 2 championships back to back and proved that he can turn the Seattle Seahawks into a dynasty. I mean, that's the only thing that seems to hurt him. Now, he is going to win more Super Bowls, without question. He's going to win more, and again, he's going to prove that at his age, he still has more to prove. The fact that even without all his weapons, he still almost was on the verge of getting back to the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, they did lose, but just imagine what's going to happen in a year or two from now. He's probably going to win another Super Bowl. So there's still something left in him. Coming in at number 4, and this is actually a tie. It's actually Brett Favre and John Elway. Now, John Elway is a guy who won 2 championships, played with the Denver Broncos. Now, some people always complain that he was too quiet, he was too complacent in interviews. But when he won Super Bowls, he made up for his lack of being boring and not charisma with people. And you fast forward today, he's even successful as a GM because he was able to bring one of the greatest quarterbacks in the game, Peyton Manning, to the Denver Broncos and get that organization back to 2 Super Bowls. You win championships with the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos, and then you turn around and take the same team you used to play for and do it. So how great is that? And tied with Brett Favre. Now, Brett Favre did not show his greatness in Atlanta. That's obvious. And when he got traded to a football team called the Green Bay Packers, the legend of Brett Favre began. 13 seasons, gone to 2 Super Bowls, won a championship. Then to turn around and go play for the Minnesota Vikings, and at his age, show that he still can play at a high level and take that team to the playoffs and do it with the Jets, is the stuff of legends. And to me, you look at his career, and the one thing you want to know is, as great as Brett Favre is, he should have won 2 or 3 championships. I mean, the talent, the greatness was there, but you get the feeling 1 Super Bowl. And the fact that he's okay with 1 championship. Most players are not okay. He's okay because he's all class. John Elway, same thing. He's won 2 championships, should have won 3, and he's okay with where he's at because he's still winning. Coming in at number 3 is Jerry Rice. Now, Jerry Rice is a guy who has won 3 championships with the San Francisco 49ers. And he is a legend in his own right. Played 12, 13 seasons with this team. In fact, he also inspired a guy that's not on this list that should have been on the list, and that's Terrell Owens. He has influenced Randy Moss. So Jerry Rice is the prototype quarterback that if you want success at the NFL level, at the elite level, he's whose blueprints you should study and master. If it weren't for Jerry Rice, there would have been no Russell Wilson. There would have been no Adrian Peterson. There would be no Michael Vick. None of those players would ever exist in the NFL today if it wasn't for Jerry Rice. The fact that he showed you this is how you win 3 Super Bowls. This is how you go to the Super Bowl 4 times. This is how you kick ass and take names. This is how you get respect. This is how you get taken serious in the NFL. And if it weren't for injuries and had he had more time, who knows what he could have done with that Raider team. He took a Raiders team in the 2001-2002 season and took them to the playoffs. And if he was in his prime, oh boy, you have no idea what Jerry Rice would have done with those Hall of Fame numbers. Coming in at number 2, and I know this is going to make a lot of Patriot fans angry and furious, Tom Brady. The guy has gone to 9 Super Bowls and won 6 championships. Now, the reason why he's at number 2 is because he's the highest on this list. He has won more championships. He has won more Super Bowls. He has played 20 years in the NFL. He has played everyone. And there's only one person that is stopping him from getting the number 1 on this list, and that's Eli Manning, because he lost to Eli twice in the Super Bowl, but beat him in the regular season. People is always going to bring up, you lost to Eli Manning twice in the Super Bowl. You could have broken the Miami Dolphins' 1972 record, the perfect Super Bowl that will never be matched in NFL history. And there is another thing they bring up, that he lost Super Bowls. Now, Tom Brady could go higher on this list depending on what he does this season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he's by far one of the best football legends of today. But there's controversial. People will never forget Deflategate, Spygate. I mean, in the NFL, they'll never forget these things. And if I was to put him at number 1, people will say, oh, I'm biased, I'm favoritism. How dare you put him at number 1? Even though he's my favorite football player, yeah, even I have to acknowledge he lost 2 Super Bowls. He won 6. He went to 9. But he's still the man. And he still wants to play even at his age. He still wants to prove that he is the greatest of all times. I think if he can do, I think if Tom can at least top it off with another Super Bowl, he definitely will and eventually graduate from number 2 to number 1 if he can pull that off. And you know he wants to, because he still has a lot to play. Now for the number 1 NFL player at number 1. Without question, he is a legend, and he is always compared to all the other guys. All the people on this list always compare themselves to this one man, Joe Montana. Won 4 championships, gone to 5 Super Bowls, has never lost a Super Bowl, played with one football team, and done it with such class and such flair that to this very day, he is the standard of what you must need to win championships. In professional basketball, people compare guys like LeBron, Kobe, to Michael. Here in the NFL, you're a quarterback, you get compared to Joe Montana and how you stack up in winning championships. This is what we live for as athletes, warriors. This is what we live for. And if you're not a fan or an athlete, you shouldn't be watching this video. But without question, he is the number 1 player in the game. Some people agree with this, some people disagree. Some people think this is bias, favoritism. It probably is, it's probably not. Some of you are satisfied with these names. Some of you are not satisfied with these names. Some of you are going to have a problem with the video. Some of you like how the video was broken down. There will be a part 2 and a part 3, so don't think that this is just one video. This was an all good fun entertainment. There are players that missed the cut. There are players that should be on this list. It's unfortunate. I was able to come up with 17. I apologize that I came up a little short on this list. And I'm okay if some of you make comments. Just make sure they're respectful comments, not disrespectful comments. No foul language or you'll be blocked and deleted. And let's just have some fun this week. This week is sports week, so you'll get plenty of sports videos. Until then, peace.